Alexander Hamilton. Where do I start? Born down in Circle with a heavy heart, I mean you had an older brother, but you didn't have much more. You grew up rather penniless, and your mother was an independent woman, but even at 11, you knew in order to climb that ladder, you had to do better, 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 you bastard brat of a Scottish peddler. You had to get smarter, work harder, and eventually your light shone through. Boss man took one good look at you and said, "Woo! Son, you're going to America." 16 years old, you arrived in New York, where you enrolled in Columbia University, but academics weren't your thing. I mean, there's a revolution, and you've got some solutions. 1775, there's a war to be free. Took on the buck and joined the artillery. 1777, you were promoted to lieutenant. Washington offered you a job, and it looked like he meant it. Said, "Son, I could be older and wiser. I could use an assistant and a trusted advisor." Though you liked your job, you really couldn't stand it. You wanted some action, so permission you were granted to lead the charge against the British in Yorktown. You came out victorious and helped take the war down. And though the revolution is over, your job is far from done. You looked those articles over, and your resolution came undone. Soon you left old George to go and study law, opened a practice in New York, and answered the call. To those loyal British loyalists, you'd think it'd be your downfall. But you took on the case, and you won those traitors' rights. Instituted a new principle of due process. It was a hell of a fight. That invisible hand led you deeper into politics. The most sought-after advisor among the U.S. presidents. Didn't change what you were after, though. A strong federal government under a new constitution, and met with some delegates to fix those weakling articles, but you didn't get a bite. But that didn't stop you. If there's one thing you learned, it's to put up a fight. You helped Mr. Madison and Big Johnny J. to write the Federalist Papers. 51 essays, which is 50 more than I can do, but let's bring the story back to you. And boy, you had a silver tongue. 2/3 against, but then you won. New York agreed to ratify, and then the rest. I wouldn't lie. Constitution now anointed, and then you were appointed to Secretary of Treasury. Dang, you were hard to beat. It was a dinner table bargain. It was your God-given right to go in there charging, to have the authority to set economic policy. Boy, those state loyalists were a little bit salty until you met with Madison and had that dinner bargain. Stepped down in 1795. But your memory was kept alive by the legacy you left behind, a secure economy and sound minds. A government eating its vitamins. It was flexing, it was strong. But hold that smile, you won't be enjoying it for long. See, in the election of 1800, you adopted a sworn enemy. Aaron Burr, sir, pleasure to be the reason of your fatality. Destroyed his chances at re-election, he demanded an explanation. But you refused to give it, so he decided to dish it in one last final duel that ended in death. Yo.